Traders, welcome back to the Trading Psychology Fundamentals series. In today's episode, I'm excited to be sharing with you some of the key insights that I learned having worked with a handful of seven-figure traders. I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas that I've observed these traders implement and the mental models they have before they take a position and the mental model they have when they're managing a position and exit a position. And I'm going to be sharing some insights on how these traders see trading, because if you aspire to be a seven-figure trader or you already are a seven-figure trader, I want to give you some mental models that are going to help throughout your journey, especially around lowering your emotional volatilities and helping you continue to scale. This one's going to be very insightful. This one's going to be very practical. I'm going to give you a great tool to help implement some of the principles we talk about. Now, if it's the first time checking into the Fundamentals series, this series is all about giving you the key insights that you need to understand as a trader to remove the negative emotions and to achieve consistent profitability. And if you find these videos useful, please share them with your friends and your trading communities, so we can get this whole idea of mastering your trading mindset out there. But without further ado, let's get into this masterclass on the mindset of seven-figure traders. Okay. Now, the difference between a professional seven-figure trader versus an amateur trader, I want to share some insights on this and just paint a picture, paint an overview. Now, what I've personally observed is that the amateur traders are caught up in the outcome. They're constantly thinking about what is the outcome of this trade? How much money am I going to make on this individual trade? How many trades do I need to take to get this new car? How many positions do I need to take to get my funded account? How much money do I need to make to get the recognition of my family and my friends? Now, you may not be so obviously and blatantly saying these things in your head, but a lot of the times they're very quiet voices at the back of your head, quiet subconscious thoughts that you have to learn to build a self-awareness of if you want to transition from an amateur to a professional trader. Amateur traders are more emotional. They're stuck in the swings of the polarity, the positive and negative, and as a result, they're caught up in the boom and bust cycle. They're setting unrealistic expectations of the market and the outcome. They think they can predict what's going to happen next, and they're making decisions as a trader based on what they think is going to happen next. And they get caught up in this dynamic of doing very well and getting into this state of pride and invincibility and showing off and telling people how good they are. And then they get to this state of extreme pride. And what happens is they feel invincible in that state. And then they start to force lower quality positions onto the market. They think they can predict what's going to happen next. Guess what? The market's never wrong. So they ultimately get humbled and they start to go on to the bust of that cycle. And they start to now revenge trade and overtrade because they're trying to make back previous profits. And they get further into drawdown. And eventually they wake up because they're so challenged by this deep drawdown, they realize I'm only going to start to take the highest quality positions in my trading plan. And as a result, they start to build a little bit of profitability again. And then they don't know how to manage that feeling of doing very well, so they go and they start feeling invincible and forcing low quality setups onto the market. And it becomes a cycle. It's the boom and bust cycle. It's what the amateurs are caught in because they can't transcend outcome-based thinking. And ultimately, every single one of my tools and YouTube videos is helping traders transition out from outcome-based thinking to process-based thinking. Because what I have observed is that the professional traders, that's where they play out. They're process-based. They're focused on their processes. They're focused on consistently executing on their trading plan. Despite the outcome of an individual trade, they stick to their trading plan. And as a result, they have consistent profitability because they're process-based. And as a result, they also have lowered emotional swings because they're not setting an idea or an outcome in their mind, an expectation in their mind, an anchor in their mind of what they think is going to happen next. And as a result, they don't really care about the outcome, to be frank. They have this carefree attitude to the outcome of an individual trade. And as a result, because they're carefree on the individual trade, they have less stress, they have better health, they sleep better. They just come back the next day and execute on their plan again. And over a long period of time, they have consistent profitability and they can sustain that because they're not addicted to a certain outcome. You see, the thing that kills resilience as a trader is traders become so invested on an individual position. And when it doesn't go their way, they're so emotionally distraught by it. How emotionally draining is that? No wonder most traders can't sustain any level of consistency. But when you learn to transcend outcome-based thinking and stick to the process, you become more resilient, you become more fluid, like water. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. What matters is coming back the next day and sticking to your plan. So that's a bit of an overview. I want to give you a solution or 4 solutions on how you can transition from an amateur caught in outcome-based thinking to a professional caught in process-based thinking. Now, without a doubt, if I was to pass on one insight on trading psychology, it would be this. If you're going to make one key difference to your ability to lower your emotional state and achieve consistent profitability, it'll be this. If you're to do one thing to sleep better at night as a trader and to have less emotions and to have better relationships and to have an increased probability of becoming a funded trader, all those types of things, it would be this one tool. It's a free tool that I've created to help traders manage their expectation on the outcome. Like I mentioned, if a trader's not caught up with this idea of what they think is going to happen next and an expectation on the outcome, then the actual outcome of the trade doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the positions are a win or a loss. And they don't get caught up in that. And as a result, they're less likely to have fear and greed as a trader. And as a result, they're more likely to stick to their trading plan and come back the next day and just consistently execute on their plan. So what I'm going to encourage each and every single one of you to do is to learn to manage, firstly, learn to be acutely aware of your expectations before you take a trade. What do I expect the market to be giving me on this individual trade? And if you're aware of that, then what you can do is you can take yourself through a questioning process of, does anybody really have any idea? Pat, does anybody have any idea of what's going to happen next in the markets? The answer is no. So is me holding on to an idea of what I think is going to happen next in the market, is that realistic or unrealistic? Well, it's unrealistic because nobody can predict what's going to happen next. Okay, and then going through this questioning process of, does this trade truly align with your trading plan? If it's a yes, great, I'm going to take this position, but I need to be aware that my expectations may not come true. Okay? And then if it's not part of your trading plan, you have to learn to build that muscle, that self-strength, that discipline to not take the position and not let your expectations of what you think is going to happen next overrule that and run your decision making. So I've created this free tool, the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool. It's the first link in the description or first comment in the description. And that tool is going to help you do that process. It's a step-by-step tool. If I take you through this questioning process before you take a position to help you build this same thought process in your mind as a muscle, just like you would any muscle in the gym, of being aware of your expectations, grounding outcome-based expectations, so you can be less emotional and you can have a greater chance of sticking to your trading plan and achieving consistent profitability as a trader. So this one tool does so much for you as a trader. And if you haven't already downloaded it, go into the description and download it now. You just need to put your name and your email, and I'll email you the tool. And in that is also going to be a little bit of a tutorial, more understanding of this, but also a tutorial on how to use the tool properly. So go in there and watch those couple videos after this video and start implementing that tool for 2 months and see what type of a difference it makes. Make sure you let me know as well. Okay. The next key difference between an amateur and a professional trader is the professional has a clear process-based trading plan. They have a plan that's laid out step by step. So first and foremost, if you know what your edge is, now what you want to do is you want to get a piece of paper or get a Notion document and write it down. What do you need to see on the higher time frame? Write down specifically what you need to see. And then once that's met, then you drill down to the lower time frame. What is it you need to see on the lower time frame to then risk money in the market? Good. And how much are you going to risk? And where are you going to put your stop? And how are you going to manage your stop loss initially? And then how are you going to manage your position to an outcome, to either a take profit or to a stop loss? And you want to write down specifically your plan for the full workflow of a position. And you want to have that in front of you so that when you're in the markets, you can be guided by proven processes, not run by your emotional fear and greed of what you wish is going to happen, or I'm scared, or I'm greedy, and as a result, I'm going to make decisions. No, the professionals have clear plans, and they're ruled by clear plans, step by step. Remember, if you create plans and processes that are proven to be profitable, and you're run by those as a trader, then you're not going to be run by your emotions when you're in the market. And the professionals have plans that they run by. The amateurs are run by how they feel when they're taking positions. The next key difference between a professional and an amateur is that a professional has a long-term plan in life in general. They have a balanced lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle. And what I mean by this is they have other sources of income, most likely. They've got a part-time or a full-time job. They've got cash savings. They have empowered relationships, however that looks like to them. There's no box that you want to put yourself in. They're empowered in their health. Again, there's no box, but for them, that's what works for them. They're empowered mentally. They have an intellectual understanding. Again, there's no right or wrong for what that looks like. And they're empowered in all areas of life. And this is important because what I've seen is a lot of amateur traders who come into the market thinking that the market's going to solve all their problems. They're going to make money quick. That's going to take care of all their problems. And the truth is, what usually happens to those individuals is that trading just becomes another problem. Not because trading is a problem, but that's just because the cycle they're stuck in. And they feel like they're a victim, they're trying to escape, and they just keep running back into the same thing over and over. So what I've seen with professionals is they take care in structuring their life, and they got everything in order and organized, and they have their calendar, they've got their structure, they know what they're doing. And trading is one component of their life. Although sometimes it's a bigger component for some and smaller for others, they still have other things in their life, and they have a holistic life that they're taking care of. The next thing here is they have mindset tools. They have tools or processes or things they implement, for example, like the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, or a meditation, or a journaling, something they do to take care of their psychology, because they realize that the way they see the market is very much a reflection of the lens they look through. And if that lens is dirty or it's not taken care of, then the way they perceive the market is going to be skewed on a day-to-day basis. So, for example, the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool that I've created for you is a great tool to have. Meditation is another good tool to have, but you have to address those underlying expectations. Journaling could be another good tool. Going for a walk could be a good tool. Doing some exercise, having a chat to someone you really love to talk to, going to your favorite cafe. Whatever the tools you have are essential. It's going to depend person to person, but they're essential to have tools to help ensure that your mindset is clear and process-based. Now, in summary, amateur traders are outcome-based. They tend to be focused and caught up on the outcome. Whereas professional traders are process-based, and they've got tools like the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, like meditation, like a balanced lifestyle, like income from other sources, all these types of things to help ensure that they're in the game for the long run, and they can just show up every day and consistently execute on their trading plan. They manage your expectations, they've got a clear trading system, they've got a balanced lifestyle, and they manage your emotions. So hopefully you learned one or two things from this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with those you know will get value from it. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.